Okay, if the FX boys are ready, show us their wares. I'd like to introduce you to Mike Tucker. Nick Cool. What do you want his name? What do you want his surname? I mean, how cool is cool, you know what I mean? Dutch. Have to marry somebody Dutch then, okay. Peter. So he's not taking a notice of them, okay. Mr. Peter Tyler, sir. And Alan Brannan playing on his laptop. The two boys on the other microphone. Fight over the other microphone.
So you got rid of us. Getting your way. Hello? You got rid of our sofa this year, so we're going to sit on the stage. Given that this is fourth year running for us, and we've sort of exhausted any video footage or Super 8 footage or anything like that we've had, we have been raiding the archives of photographs a little bit and trying to go back a little bit towards series 3, 4 and 5 to show you some of the behind the scenes stuff that we've been working on, which I'm hoping we're going to be able to do through the laptop shortly and restore endlessly until such things happen. Just to give you a bit of a background as to what we've been up to over the last year, we've been working on a major show for Discovery Channel, which as yet we're unsure is going to be screened in the UK. If it does get a UK screening, I believe it's going to be Channel 5. That's a thing called Extreme Body. We've also, currently in the cinemas, have got Atonement, which is the new Keira Knightley, James McAvoy film, for which we've provided a model shot, and that seems to be doing very well. It's very quiet, or fairly quiet for us at the moment. So various projects going on. Nick and I are working on a small, low-budget British science fiction film for which the director-producer is struggling to get funding. No surprises there. Alan?
Yeah. I've just been working on some exhibition display work for commercials, but I'm starting on Harry Potter on Monday in the prop store, which is quite nice. And there's lots more stuff coming up next year. We're hoping to be working together as much as possible, but at the moment it's all, as is always in this industry, it's all pending. So watch this space, I guess.
Oh, and Peter and I have just finished work on second series of, and Nick, on second series of Primeval. How are we doing? Shall we do this in reverse then, start with questions? We'll start with questions and go to those as opposed to the other way around, if there are any. Yes, hurrah.
One for Alan. What are you doing on Harry Potter?
Props. I've got, as is always the way with these things, I finished the job at midnight last Tuesday evening with nothing to go on to and wondering where the next job was coming from. And on Friday I got calls to work on a new series of action figures based on Spider-Man 3, which were Venom and Spider-Man, which will take place over the next month, and then a call on Friday afternoon to start this Monday working on props for Harry Potter and whichever one it is, the Half-Blood Prince. So at the moment I'm told there's lots of lovely, interesting, property model making things to do, and I'm looking forward to it. 7:30 on Monday morning. What can you say?
Anyone? Is there any props or special effects that you've done over the years that frustrated you so much that you've almost taken a habit to it?
Lots. Where do you want to start?
There's a lot of things that you do sort of early on in your career that you get sort of 10 years down the line and wish that you had the experience that you have now to go back and redo. There's a lot of the Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy Doctor Who shows that are currently cropping up on DVD that I'm being asked, would I like to go back in and do replacement effects for? And it's like, yes, please. The problem is that, as Andrew will no doubt sympathise with, the budgets for doing DVDs are less than the budgets to make that the original programmes were made on. So it's, can we do the effects cheaper than we did them first time round? Which is no, they were cheap enough first time.
I think that's always the problem with TV effects, is you've never got enough time or money. It's many time is always the factor of trying to get something finished, and you're always running out of time. Sometimes money wasn't the problem, it was just a time factor because you're up against quite tight schedules. Especially on Red Dwarf, I remember doing the third series, and you were doing studios in Manchester and doing the props down back in London, and creating rubber suits for the creatures. So there was a lot to cram in. Something like Doctor Who, they use 3 different companies, one for models, one for creature effects. Then they are now like a separate digital company. Then there's a physical effects company. So there's 4 different companies involved in something like Doctor Who. But Red Dwarf, we were doing everything pretty much under one roof.
Yeah.
Seeing as you mentioned Sylvester McCoy's Doctor Who, I was watching some clips on YouTube the other day, and I got involved in the debate with somebody who was saying that the effects were very dated. And I said that, remember, this was made in the 80s. They don't have the technology they have, like computers and all that, and then that they have now. Do you think even with the smaller budget, given access to computers, you could, well, maybe not improve, but you could do things better than you did them before?
The thing about, that's a very good point, in that when we were doing the effects back in the 80s, it was all optical compositing and optical effects. There wasn't the level of digital effects technology that you've got now. I think the difference you've got to make is that there's a huge difference between computer-generated effects, where everything you're seeing on the screen has been done within the computer, and using the computer as a compositing tool or a rig removal tool. And that's where I think we would have benefited, because even on Red Dwarf, we spent so much time sort of making sure that wires hanging on models were small and that they could be removed, in the camera. There's a certain amount of stuff there that you could now just go back in and go, well, it doesn't matter if that shows up, we can remove it. So those tools would have been useful to us. I actually don't think that many of the effect shots within the Sylvester McCoy era are that bad in terms of dating them.
That wasn't my opinion, by the way, that was somebody else's.
Yeah, I think it's more down to who was the particular designer in charge of doing those shows, and that's always a tricky one, because as an assistant back in those days, I would often sit there and think, well, I think that's going to look crap on screen. But because I'm the junior assistant, and I'm not the designer on the show, we don't necessarily get a way of making that